Morning people, welcome back to F Politics. The UK government's budget announcement was an absolute catalogue of politicians scoring own goals, and it was delicious. First off, we've got Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor, basically proving that even when Labour is doing something good, you still can't trust them. Because Labour is getting rid of the two-child benefit cap, which is the rule that says that you can only claim benefits with respect to your first two children. And according to the Child Poverty Action Group, allowing parents to seek financial help for children beyond the first two will pull 300,000 children out of poverty. So it's objectively good that they're doing it now, but last year, Labour fired 7 Labour MPs for voting to scrap that limit, and yet they're now doing the exact same thing that they fired 7 MPs for doing last year. So when Rachel Reeves says,
"There is one policy that pushes kids into poverty more than any other. I can announce today the removal of the two-child limit in full from April."
She's saying that Labour was so committed to a policy that is the most damaging to child poverty on the board that they would fire 7 of their own MPs to protect it. And the arguments she makes are entirely valid.
But what it has done is to push hundreds of thousands of children into poverty since it was introduced. They said they were punishing parents' choices. But it's the kids who have paid the price. And there are many reasons why people choose to have children and then find themselves in difficult times. The death of a partner, separation, ill health, a lost job. I don't believe that children should have to bear the brunt of that.
But none of this is new. We all knew this back in 2024. So this isn't a moral decision she's making, this is a political decision that the Labour Party is making. And if politicians are making such huge decisions about child poverty based not on morality, but on political strategy, should you really be trusting them? And another own goal was Kemi Badenoch trying to attack Rachel Reeves.
Labour are hiking taxes to pay for welfare. This budget increases benefits for 560,000 families by an average of £5,000.
Sorry, you're talking like this is a bad thing. Like helping people who are in poverty is a bad thing. Like imagine standing up in Parliament and just being like, "I'm the bad guy." Duh. But Rachel Reeves doesn't stop with the own goals.
By backing working people, not making them poorer.
That's a funny thing to say coming from a Chancellor who earlier this year introduced welfare cuts to Parliament that her own estimates said would push 250,000 people into poverty. So you deliberately make working class people poorer. And she tries to take a shot at Zach Polanski.
The leader of the Green Party is a keen hypnotherapist. And he believes that he can achieve remarkable things using only the power of his mind. Unfortunately, the only things getting bigger under his approach would be the deficit and the rate of inflation.
Again, it's an own goal because the single biggest policy that Polanski's Green Party are supporting is rejoining the EU. And given that being out of the EU, according to the Bank of England, is making inflation worse, and based on the government's estimates, it's costing our tax revenue £40 billion a year, which makes the deficit worse. So Labour is attacking Zach Polanski for problems that right now they're the ones responsible for. And this is why saying this makes no sense.
And economic growth. The best means to improve wages, create jobs, and support public services.
And she's entirely right about that, but this is a budget announcement, and it's entirely based on the Office of Budget Responsibility. And they have calculated why our growth is so crap. And in that document, which they released today, Brexit is mentioned 16 times. And they repeat that Brexit is making our economy 4% smaller than it should be. So when you talk about growth like this...
The OBR said the economy was going to grow by 1% this year. We've grown it by 1.5%.
Those are rookie numbers compared to what you could achieve if you stopped supporting Brexit. So every time Labour talks about how important growing the economy is, they're admitting that they are part of the problem because they're supporting a Brexit that is keeping our economy small. However, one shot I did like was this.
We are ramping up sanctions on Russia, and we are freezing known Russian assets. But let me be clear, I don't actually mean the honourable member for Clacton.
You know, politics is in a great place when politicians are openly calling each other Russian spies in Parliament. And that came up in the Reform Party's press conference about the budget because Nigel Farage was asked whether or not he was going to have an investigation after it came out that Nathan Gill, the Reform Party's leader in Wales, was taking money from Vladimir Putin. And usually Nigel Farage lies subtly, or lies in a way that you can only really prove that it was a lie maybe years later. This time was obvious as hell.
Did UKIP have a problem with an MEP who clearly was corrupt? Yes, it did. Did he join Reform? Very briefly. In Wales, he did, and very briefly he was leader.
Why are you lying, dude? because the first payment that Nathan Gill received from Russia was in December 2018, which is the same month that he left UKIP. He then got paid several times over the next few months, right up until July 2019. And during pretty much all of that time, he was an MEP for the Reform Party. Trying to play this off as a UKIP problem, not a Reform Party problem, when this was a problem that happened almost exclusively when Nathan Gill was part of the Reform Party? Wild. And that makes the rest of his excuses for not doing an investigation into Russian influence in the Reform Party even more unhinged.
I can't investigate UKIP in the European Parliament in 2018. How do I do that? Can I read people's emails? Can I take their mobile phones?
This isn't a problem that took place in UKIP. This is a problem that took place in your party. I literally have footage of me with Nathan Gill when he was part of the Reform Party. Nigel Farage is just lying to our faces. There was also this incredible admission when he was asked about why all his classmates are saying he was racist at school.
What they do say very clearly is they had different political views to me. That, that I thought Enoch Powell was right about the common market, which I did in the referendum, which was a minority position, but I held it all the way back then. And I thought he was right to talk about, not having vast community change. And by the way, that was a source of big political debate back in the late 1970s.
Just coming out and saying that back in the 1970s, you were agreeing with Enoch Powell, specifically on demographic issues in the UK, when Enoch Powell is widely known to be one of the most famous racists in UK history. That's an own goal of messy precision. And the Reform Party was also asked about why Nigel Farage said that young people who are on the minimum wage should be paid less.
On the minimum wage, we've got to be real about this. I know it's very easy to paint some headline of, Reform want young people to do less. Well, no, it's the opposite. We want young people to do better. What the government has done is close the gap between a mid-level employee and a junior employee. And this is the problem with having people who make these decisions who have never actually had to employ anyone.
Sorry, just so I'm getting this right. Income equality, bad. Income inequality, good. Am I getting that right, Zia?
I remember my first job, I earned, £3.30 or something, right? Minimum wage. And it wasn't because I aspired to earn £3.30 for the rest of my life, right? But it was a great start. It was work that was important to me. It was a Saturday job. And these opportunities are being robbed from our young people.
Zia, you were at private school. That Saturday job for £3, whatever, you didn't need the money. You then went on to study at the London School of Economics, and then you went straight into banking, became a CEO at Goldman Sachs. These are not opportunities that are afforded to most people. So using your experience of private school kid turned banker as a reason why other young people should be paid less than the minimum wage? Are you people human? So yeah, watching these politicians just completely throw mud in their own faces, it's been outstanding. I'm Kemi. Make sure you follow F Politics. The Politics does an FU. Have a great week.